Hey everybody, this is Michael Broom and welcome to the Good Father Brand Podcast. Alright, it's good to see everyone again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will have this on YouTube and also I will have this on audio form as a podcast. I believe this is going to be, hold on for a second, I think this is episode number 43. This is episode 43. So, episode 43. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The main thing I really want to talk about is, can black men truly grow old? Like, can we really grow old? Like, I'm looking down at my phone. Black men deserve to grow old. I think that's a big thing that has really been on my mind lately. I think we do deserve to grow old. I know I changed the term of it earlier. I do think that black men deserve to grow old. And the reason I say this because one thing is that I feel like a lot of us are dying too soon. And what I mean by dying too soon, we're dying too soon due to abuse, due to murder, getting killed, due to unhealthy diet, and we eventually get sick because we're mostly known for not going to the doctor. There's a history behind that. I think that, let me put my microphone here. All right, so I do think that we have to be cognizant of that. I think we need to recognize the fact that we deserve to grow old. And I think it's hard for people to feel like we need to deserve to grow old. And I feel like we should deserve to grow old due to the fact that we're dying too soon. Men is most likely to be, most likely to commit suicide. And you add being black on top of that, that's another part. And I feel like we do deserve to grow old. But unfortunately, a lot of us do not see to we don't grow up to see a elderly age. We don't see our grandkids get older. We don't see we don't see our kids go older. We don't have the opportunity to, enjoy having grandkids. We don't even we don't get to enjoy the pleasures of life once we get to an older age. And I do think that that is unfortunate. And I feel like not exactly that black men, we need to do better. I think that we need to address the fact that we don't grow old. Why is that? Why don't we grow old? And take away, I feel like mental health is one of the things that's not discussed in regards to growing old. Like I said, we have one of the highest rates of suicide. Why is that? I feel like a part of it, and maybe let me just speak from, from experiences that I've seen with others. I feel like, us being unable to provide in a particular way may play a part in it. I feel like if we are able to provide better and, because we have some of the highest unemployment rates, I feel like if our mental health was better connected to the trauma that we've experienced growing up, and, men are taught to, stand strong and, you're supposed to be the provider, you're supposed to be the protector, you're supposed to, not hurt. You're supposed to show all of this emotion. You're supposed to hide all of your emotion, I meant to say. You got to hide all your emotion. You can't show nothing. You can't cry. You can't be angry. You can't be upset. You have to just be strong and vigilant at all times, and because you can't show any weakness. And if you show any weaknesses, that's going to be to your detriment. People are going to take advantage of you. You have to carry yourself a particular way all the time. Your kids can't see you cry. Your wife can't see you cry. Your girlfriend can't see you cry. Your mother can't see you cry. Anybody in your family can't see you cry. They can't see you be emotional. They can't see you, go off the handle. Men are supposed to be calm, cool, collected all the time. And is that really something that's possible? Can men be like this all the time and be in their right state of mind? No, we can't be in our right state of mind if we're like this. we have to always like be aware, be aggressive, be tough, and take life by the horns, and we gotta do this stuff all the time, 24/7. Are we really like that 24/7? No, it's not realistic. We can't realistically be like this all the time. We can't. Why we're forced to be this way? Who taught us that we need to present ourselves this way? And I feel like as a father, as a man, I feel like that kind of pressure is extreme. We don't have to go to those type of lengths to be extreme. Why is it that we cannot truly grow old? Why can't we? Because we let the pressures of society tell us we have to be a particular way in order to function as men. It should not be that way. We shouldn't have to be projected ourselves a particular way in order to present ourselves as such. It's not right. It's not fair. But what are we going to do to change that? Or can we change it? Can we truly change it? Can we truly change that? I wish we could, but I feel like addressing our mental health is one. I feel like, man, my personal life, my mental health is affecting me in a particular way that I have to be like this. I have to do this. And being a particular way, that way I feel like it doesn't work long term. I feel like we suffer inside due to the fact that we have to present ourselves in a particular way 24/7 all the time. That's going to get old. It wears on us. And we don't realize it until it's too late. When we realize it, we just sit here like, oh my God, like I have all these insurmountable pressures to be a particular way. And I feel like we have to change the societal standard of what manhood, being a black man, truly is. I feel like we need the yin and the yang. We need the feminine and the masculine. We need both. We can't just be 100% one way all the time, expect for it to work. To be in your masculine, yes, cool, do that. But there are going to be moments that overly masculine is not going to be required. Do y'all realize, as men, we have to be nurturers? I know that is a hard thing to say. I know that a lot of men think like, oh man, that's a woman's job or that's a mother's job. No, you as a man, you as a father have to be nurturing also. I'm learning this with my own kids. I never was necessarily the overly nurturing type until I had kids of my own. And you have to understand that you being a father, you have to nurture at times. I know with my son, he currently plays basketball and he tunes himself out and has an attitude and is upset due to the fact that he may not get as much playing, like he may get pulled to the bench, or he may, he may get pulled to the bench, or hold on, let me cut this light on, I'm sorry. He may get pulled to the bench, or it's gonna be something like that, or he feels like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to, he just going to the bench and he'll just be upset. He'll have, he just be frustrated because he ain't getting no minutes. He feels like he's not gonna get no minutes, or he gets pulled from the game because he needs rest. Every athlete out there know they can't run and gun the entire game. They're gonna be tired out. So the coach puts him on the bench and he's upset. And when my son gets upset, he is gone. He's gone mentally from the game. He's focusing on that instead of he's focusing on the coach taking him out and not being, not being focused on the game. And I told him before, you need to focus on the game. If you focus on the game, you're going to do better than just focusing on getting pulled and going to the bench. And me talking to him, me comforting him, me telling him that everything is going to be okay, just ride the wave for now. be patient. Be patient on the goals that is going to be set. If you focus on that, you will be able to find a way to do well. You will find a way to win the game. You will find a way to get back in. But I felt like I have to have a more nurturing nature because I realized that I was critiquing my son especially too much. And I felt like the critique is I feel like that's a very masculine thing to do. Like, oh, you do this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong, need to correct this, need to correct that, need to correct that. But I feel like the nurturer side is like, son, good job. You're doing great. I'm proud of your work. You're doing good with this. You're doing great in rebounds. You're playing good defense. Just giving them that positive reinforcement, which I didn't realize was truly important. Now, growing up, I didn't necessarily get that kind of encouragement. Now, it's not my mom's fault. It's not my mom's fault, truly. She was just doing the best that she can for that moment. But I really needed that positive reinforcement. That's something I learned as being a teacher. Being a teacher also, you need to be nurturing. There are moments that you have to be disciplined and tough. And man, there's other moments you need to be nurturing because you got to think some of these kids, they ain't necessarily have no good day before they walk up in your classroom. And I feel like, as parents, as people, parents especially have to understand that. Like, your child can have a terrible day at school. You getting on them about their homework, cussing them out about their homework ain't gonna solve the problem. That's not going to eliminate the issue. They may have an issue with somebody at school, or they might not. They had an issue with their teacher, or it could be anything, or they dropped their food at lunch. You don't know what it is. So overly critiquing your child is not nurturing. Yes, there's moments of critique. I'm not saying that kids should not be removed from being critiqued. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you need to be careful of how you talk to your kids. And I'm learning this the hard way. Like, I'm talking to my son the same way that I got talked to when I was a child. And like I said, my mom is not wrong in that fact. My mom, she grew up, not she grew up, but I grew up in a single parent household. I grew up without my dad around. So I felt like my mom had to be overly masculine all the time towards me and my brothers. She raised 3 boys out here, black boys especially. So she had to be, she had to be rough on us. She had to be hard on us, teach us about mental toughness and all of that stuff. Things that you would think that a man supposed to have. They're intangibles within themselves. The problem is that when you get all of that, and my love language is words of affirmation, a lot of that I'm gonna take it to heart. I'm gonna take it like, dang, like she don't love me, or she don't care about me, or she always getting on me. And I didn't see it from the other end until I got older. Now I'm realizing with my kids, I'm literally doing the same thing. And I'm not saying my mom is 100% wrong on it, because she's not 100% wrong in it. But I do think that when it comes to your kids, you see the things that happen in your family, you can tweak some stuff. Like, I feel like it's times I need to be nurturing. There's other times I need to lay the hammer down and, create that discipline. Because I feel like kids need a balance of both. But if you overly critiquing them all the time, and then if you not giving them positive affirmations if you give them positive affirmations, you're never giving that to them, but you're always critiquing them. How you think they're going to receive it? Now they may have low self-esteem now, all because you told them, oh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, but you're never talking about what they're doing right. As a teacher, you have to do positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. You have to do both. You always start positive. Oh, you did this great. You did this good. You did this good. Okay, but we need to work on this. We need to work on that. So I use my strategies of being a teacher, and I literally do that with my kids. Because if I don't, I realized I was creating an imbalance. And I had to be accountable for that imbalance. I have to realize that I need to be as balanced as possible so that I could be the best dad I could be towards my kids. If I'm balanced, that helps me be more balanced with my children. My kids can be more balanced if I'm balanced. I can't be on one side of the spectrum or the other side of the spectrum, but create a balance of the two. So I feel like if let's go back to regards to physical health. I mean, for mental health, I felt like, men in itself need to get their mental health checked. I feel like if we get our mental health checked, I think that certain things would be eliminated. All the traumas we experienced in our past and our present, that stuff has to be put in the forefront. But we as men have been taught to conceal everything in, hold everything in. I'm a victim of that. I can tell you personally, I'm a victim of that. I was always told to, I was trained to hold everything in. Don't let no emotion out. Keep it to yourself. Don't cry. Don't be sad. Don't be upset. And I feel like in the long run, that hurt me. That hurt me in a way that it kind of messed up my trajectory in my life, and it altered relationships due to the fact that I wasn't myself. I felt like I had to be a shell of myself in order to be loved, liked, and respected. I couldn't be me. And that puts a weight on your mental health if you're not yourself. So I do advise people to go to counseling, go to therapy. I went before at one time in my life. I want to go back. I'm just keeping it a whole buck, being completely honest. I'm gonna go back to therapy. I'm going to, focus on my mental health, because my mental health has not been great in 2021. I know one of my goals of 2022 is to go to consistent counseling for a year. That's like I know people have like New Year's resolutions, but that's one of mine. Go to therapy for a year straight, no breaks. That's one of my goals for next year, is to work on my mental health. Because how I'm going to tell y'all on a podcast to work on your mental health, and I'm not. I have to be a person of my word. So, do black men deserve to grow old? Yes, we do. We do deserve to grow old. And I wish that more people understood the plight we go through, the things we experience, the pain we suffer, the pressures we face. It's hard out here dealing with all of these things. And sometimes you got people that don't have the same race as us, women that have the same color and race as we do, men that have the same race that we are, the younger people in our generation. We don't get love or respect or being even liked. We have to be almost perfect to be even recognized. It's only certain times of the year that we are even recognized for the works we do. Anything we do has always been projected as something negative that gets old after a while. Don't like the fact that we don't get the just due of respect, love, and admiration that everybody else get. And that weighs on us to the point that we go to an early grave due to the fact that we don't get the love and the respect that we feel like we need. And you don't even have to do a parade or anything like that. Just tell us that you're proud of us, that you love us, that you care. A lot of times we don't know if people care about us because we don't never hear it. And also, black men and men in general, please realize that when someone also gives you a compliment, don't reflect and give that compliment back. Just accept the compliment. I know it's hard for me to say. I do it. I do it too. Accept the compliment. It's completely fine. But we need to receive it first. We give all our energy, effort into the girls in our life, the women in our life, the children in our life. We give all. Do some of us need to do better? Of course. But some of us doing the best that we can. And a lot of times it doesn't feel like it's enough. Yes. A lot of times as men, we feel like what we do is never enough. We try and try and try and try over and over again. And no matter how hard our efforts are, it's never enough. You can give somebody the moon and they'll say, oh, you forgot about the stars and the earth. And it's painful to work your whole life or do the best you can, and it's never enough. That's why we don't grow old. That's one of the reasons we don't grow old. We die early because of the amount of stress and pressure that is on us just to survive day by day. Don't add the issues of police brutality. Don't add the issues of self-hate, low self-esteem, mental health issues, poor health, and always feeling like you're alone. It's never good to feel like you're alone. But the black man's journey a lot of times is. And no one seems to understand us or even want to understand us. We're hated from the day we're born. All right, that's all I got for this week's podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to like on YouTube, share, subscribe, please comment. If you're listening to this through audio, please share anything that you want to in regards to the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Peace.